What up, guys? Another Adonis review. And today I thought I would do Persona 5. I'm sorry, I'm kind of going to pause between audio cuts so you can kind of hear what's going on a little bit in the background. But the reason I'm going to do Persona 5 today is because of, basically have the next 10 years I'm dedicating to fucking Yakuza, basically the rest of my life. And made me think about the game that kind of started it all for me. The first turn-based fucking RPG I played, on a fucking console, on a mainstream console, and gave it a try. Because it was shoved down my face so often that I was like, oh, this game, everyone says it's fantastic. I guess I'll give it a whirl and see what it is. And, and it is fantastic. It's a game that is definitely worth your money. It's over 100 hours of gameplay easily put into it. But there's also a lot of negatives that come with it, too. So I'll try to quickly go over them all. If you're a type of person that's heard about Persona 5 and have considered it for a long time, and you never really know what the hype is about it, or why there's so much hype about it, or if it's good, or it's for you, or you don't like turn-based, so you don't think it's going to be for you. Maybe my review can kind of help you. Now, first off, like I said, I'm not a turn-based fighting type of guy, or I've steered clear, as strongly as possible. Anytime I saw a game could even possibly be turn-based. When I see a fighting game that looks good, I want it to be, like God of War or Devil May Cry or Final Fantasy. Like, I want it to have great fighting mechanics. You do badass shit. I mean, even Kingdom Hearts has fantastic fighting mechanics for, what it is, even so it's kind of, more PG. Like, its fighting mechanics and the color and, effects and powers and shit they use in it, it's pretty cool. Even when they use powers they fly around, fucking everything about it, like, I think Kingdom Hearts is probably one of, the most simplest but coolest fighting mechanics around. So, doing a turn-based fighter, almost defeats the game for me. It's like, it doesn't even seem fun anymore if I'm just going to be playing fucking Pokemon for, 100 hours when I could be playing something that has fantastic fighting mechanics. But, just like Yakuza Like a Dragon, and we can go into Persona 5, this game is worth it. And just, again, like Yakuza Like a Dragon, this game is something that 100% is supported and does so well because of its story. It's a fantastic story. To kind of give you like a synopsis of it. You're a kid who fucking, one day sees a guy trying to take advantage of a woman or kind of hurting her, and he's, she doesn't want to go with him, and you end up trying to stop him, and he like falls over, and then it basically turns out like that guy's like, the man. He's like the mayor or something. He like, owns everything. He's just a really successful dude, and he can easily ruin your life, and basically you get like ridiculous charges put against you because all he tripped, but basically he puts some charges like you did something terrible to him, and it makes you out to be like a hoodlum and criminal almost, and so you get shipped away with some guy who will just take care of you since you're a troublemaker now, and then you move to a new area, meet new people, and then basically you find out about this alternate kind of reality that you can kind of jump into, and where they have personas and whatnot, and these worlds are kind of based off of the corruption or evil desires of people. As you can see in the video we're watching right now, this isn't reality where you're, in the real world where there's a giant guy with knives and wine glasses and tongue. It's kind of like his sick, altered world version of himself that he sees that they've slipped into, and kind of how he sees reality on his side. And that's kind of the pull of the whole game. The whole pull is, you'll kind of go to several different realities where, you slowly pull up the world hierarchy, starting from like a PE teacher who's abusing his power, going up to, like drug dealers who are abusing their power, and so on. and you'll do that so consistently that eventually you will, until you get to the top of the tower and you just become a master at kind of defeating these people's devilish world, and you become like a staple in society for being able to stop these people. So it's a pretty cool story, like I said. But there are some negatives. One of them being the RPG turn-based style. If you don't like that, that is something that is there. But it is insanely competitive and difficult. So thinking that it's easy or not as fun, I'm not gonna lie. The toughest fight I've ever played in any video game in my life, I played Metal Gear, Rising. It was fucking the final boss in this game. If you are not prepared for this, you will die. And that's one of the biggest things about this game too, is that it has like almost like a countdown, like a clock, which is like the calendar. It goes by days, and every day matters. And if you don't use your time wisely, which you could easily not do, because you don't know exactly how to use it wisely sometimes, you could waste days, precious days that you need to fucking grow a skill. And there's a bunch of skills. I mean, there's skills you have to learn, and level up. But not only that, but there's people that you can decide to befriend. There's multiple people, and you really have to choose who you want to befriend, because you don't have enough time to befriend everybody and max them all out, which you kind of wish you did. So you have to pick and choose which people you want to spend your most time with, because you won't have enough time to do it for everybody. And that's tough. And then later on, especially you get some characters later on in the game, and even if you wanted to really level them out, you might not even have time. You'd have to like maybe dedicate every last minute to them, at the end of the game, and maybe you're still trying to raise another skill. So time management is super important, and if you fuck it up, you might be fucked. And you might fucking have to 100%. It might be almost impossible. So there is. I got through this game with not really having to grind as much. If you are a person who plays like Yakuza or things like that, you'll know that there's some places they make in a game for you to kind of just really grind it out and try as hard, and level up. And I hate doing that. I hate grinding. I feel like I should be able to, with the side missions and playing naturally, as long as I do like all the side missions before like final bosses and stuff, or before wherever I'm about to go, if all side missions are completed, I should be able to beat it. I shouldn't have to spend 3 hours grinding in some fucking stupid underground world to fucking be able to beat something. So and that's basically the case. If you really do use your time properly, you should be good enough to do it. And you were just good at, picking the right skills and all that shit. And I like that about games. But like I said, you could easily fuck it up and have to grind, which is one of the most annoying things too. Because like I said, it is easy to fuck it up, and it's probably one of the only games I've ever played where it's been such a high possibility of me fucking up, since there is that calendar countdown clock. Another negative, is the subtitles, but not really just the subtitles. It's not that big, at least in my opinion. The subtitles, for a lot of people, it is a big deal, and they hate it. But if you don't like reading in the first place, you'll really hate reading in this game. Because like, you could spend fucking an hour of gameplay just straight up reading fucking text. Like no lie, and it happens all the time. Like, this game's 100 hours, like 80 hours of it is reading text. And sometimes it's not that big of a deal, because like I said, the story's interesting, and you want to read that text, you want to know what's going on. But fucking, if you're looking for a game where you just want to get in, get some action in, and have some fun real quick, like, this is not the game for you. Like, you'll turn it on and be like, let me just play for 20-30 minutes, get some quick fights in. Nope. You're sitting there for fucking 45 minutes minimum, reading the story, seeing what's happening, just to barely get started. To play this game, you have to commit at least 2 hours while you're playing. You don't turn it on if you don't have 2 hours to commit to it that day, because you won't get anything done. But beyond those negatives of the constant reading and the possible difficulty grinding that you might face in it being a turn-based RPG, if you can get past those points of it, the fantastic story, the amazing ideas and concept and creativity behind it, and the mechanics that they base that are very clever and fun to use, and the way that you can make your own, kind of personas, these monster type Pokemon things. I just call it Pokemon because This game reminds me of like a high class Pokemon, but you know they you can really make creative ones and mash them together, create something unique, and you know, and you won't know what it is, and it's interesting to kind of see that. So it gets kind of fun. It's almost like if you could just grab two of any random Pokemon, you know, not just evolving your Charmander to fucking Charizard. It's like if you grab a Charmander and grab a fucking Weeping Bell, and you put them together to see what the fuck that made. Well, like what type of monstrosity that made, and that could be your fucking monster that fights with you. And that's what you can kind of do in this game. So it's really unique, and it's really introspective story ideas. It gets a little bit preachy at some point, you know, where it's like what the fuck are they like talking about sometimes? They're like, wow, like I guess this is kind of like what society is about, but I mean, goddamn, like settle down. But you know, it's still pretty interesting. You know, it's a cool perspective where you can try to act like you're smarter than everybody. Be like, yeah, society is like that. Yes, I understand. I'm smarter than everybody. But I think it's something you would enjoy overall. But again, this game is not something you want to go into. Again, if you're not looking for if you're looking for quick fun and if you don't have time, if you're a person that never beats long campaign open world games because fucking you don't have the time. And you get all you want to do is get into a game quickly and play it, a quick round or two, then don't ever play this game. But if you have the time and you want a fantastic story, and you've never known if this game is for you, I think it's worth checking out. I think you should play it, and I hope that if you do end up playing it because of this review, and you've been holding off and you can see it, I hope you leave a comment and let me know how much you liked it. Typically this game, I think it even is coming out for the Switch, thinking about it now, which is pretty awesome. I mean, if you could play this game on the Switch and play it on the go, that'd probably be, and this isn't a game that, there's a lot of games made for the Switch that fucking I feel like are just ridiculous why they would make it. Like, I've always had a dream to play the Witcher 3 on the Switch, but in reality, it's like, what a fucking, concept. Like, there's no way that it just won't play it good. Like, it's a cool idea, but it just can't be done smoothly. But I think this game can be done smoothly. I haven't played on the Switch, but I imagine it worked just fine on the Switch. It'd be pretty great game to play on the Switch. Again, I'm not positive. I mean, they have him on the Super Smash Brothers as a side character. I don't know why they would do that. They didn't make it, but yeah, this game typically, I mean, it's always kind of never been super dirt cheap in price, but you can typically always get it for around $20. It's on sale pretty often. And if you get it for $20, and especially they have the deluxe version, I think nowadays, I say do it. That's a great deal. Like I said, you'll get lots of money back for the time you get to play in the game. So I think it'll be worth it. But that's the end of the review. Thanks, guys.